The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. ULTI.TV.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. ULTI.TV. ULTI.net.
Welcome to Glastonbury Tornament 2022. We are live on ULTI.TV's YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to have you with us at the UK's premier outdoor party tournament. And we're getting into bracket play now. The winner of these two sides will take their place in the top 8 tomorrow, and the loser will go into the 9 to 16 bracket. This game being played between Exeter City Ultimate in the black and 22 HV Plus in the white, which I think is named after an old Frisbee house where a number of the team used to live. As you kind of tend to do, I find at university, everyone tends to gravitate around a couple of Frisbee residences. This team no different. Benji Reese here with you in the booth on a glorious day here at Glastonbury in Somerset, in the southwest of England. Got the Tor off in the distance. A beautiful grounds here at the Tor Sports and Leisure Centre. You see it there in the background. Milan's readying the horn. Game's starting a little bit late because one of these sides, namely 22 HV Plus, was only just playing and didn't know they were going to be in this game because it depended on whether they won their last game, which they were able to do. Bit of Violent Femmes, Blister in the Sun in the background. Had 80s tunes cranking out all weekend from the PA system over in the distance. And we're underway. Exeter receiving to begin. Moving this quite zippily so far. And now they want to shoot it down the sideline. This might be a little bit undercooked, and there is a big hand to tip it away and almost into Ed's car. Must admit, not too keen on Ed driving his car that close to the field, but it's got to get around somehow. First possession here for 22 HV plus. That one's a bit low, and I think will bounce off the hands. Picked up, reset into the centre. Now across towards the far sideline. Quinn gets it off the line. To Criddle. Now towards the far sideline. Trapped on there. Cheeky little high release to get it off. Using that inside channel that was created. Backhand around. Looking for a continuation. Not there. Dipping inside. I thought the shot was available. Just going to dish it off instead. Criddle wants to blade this one around, and it's going to be towed in on that far sideline by James English, also known as Jingles, for the score. So the way the Glastonbury schedule works is there are 8 pools of 4. The winner of each pool plays the second place team in a different pool, and vice versa. And the third place team plays the fourth place team or whatever, and that gives you 4 8-team brackets, each with a prize on offer, which you might be able to see at the front of the commentary booth. All highly sought after. There's also, of course, the party prize, which is some vintage Somerset cider, 10-year aged, very fancy, and the Spirit helmet as well. So 22 HV plus receiving the ball for the first time, already at about midfield, wanting to shoot this one. Oh, this is floating. It will invite some pressure and traffic. And got a hand there, but couldn't reel it in. Felt like she had position on it as well. Couldn't quite wrap the hand around it. Chance for Exeter to get an early break. Ooh, wow, that is a really good snag. Behind Juma, but he reeled it in, and there is a conversation here. There's an injury stoppage, so going to have to make a replacement. So back in play. Just working it calmly around the back. Oh, that one is tipped. Just got in there, stealing a little bit of a march on the receiver. Low release around towards the side of the end zone. I must admit, not particularly graceful catch. But it is a goal, and that'll make it one apiece. It's certainly not quite how they teach it, but it seems to work all the same. Bit of the Buggles in the background. Video killed the radio star. Of course, if they might not be aware, but 80s is the theme of this weekend's Glastonbury tournament. We've seen some 80s costumes in show already. And one of the things that the 80s brought was the birth of MTV, music television. And very appropriately, Video Killed the Radio Star. First ever tune played on MTV. So there you are. That'll come up in a pub quiz once and you'll thank me. Here's a deep shot for Exeter. This is going to float again. It's going to invite some pressure. And the cloud of defenders converge to knock it away. A couple of times we've seen those deep shots just be a bit too floaty. Now getting that throw out quickly. Trying to see if they can work it through the handler space. A high release into coverage and tried to pull out of that one, but did not do it in time. Puts the hands up in apology. Not good. I think recognised that actually it wasn't a situation he needed to be going into. So tried to pull out and did not do so in time. Sticks the hands up in apology. Do you think I have to take an injury sub? But then Tim making the bid. This is favourite drink is skimmed milk, so make of that what you will. I don't understand what the point of full skimmed milk is. Answers on the back of the postcard. Here's a deep shot for 22 HV+. Can it be chased down? Not quite. Just too much gas on that. A little bit of an inside channel there for Criddle. Wide stance. Coming underneath his cutter. Just trying to get my head around the roster. Criddle comes underneath. Continuation down the sideline. And looking to force into the end zone, but it's not there. Here's another deep shot for 22 HV+, but again, there's no one on the receiving end. They haven't quite found a way to get that to work. Looking outside the end zone, still not quite in. Is there a reset available? Doesn't need one. With a little push pass into Criddle for the score. We've got slightly different commentary surveys for Glasto, listing on their drink of choice, favourite 80s song and film, because obviously 80s themed. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And what's the largest animal you think you could beat in a fight? I don't think I could really go larger than a fox. Hannah Quinn reckons she could beat an ocelot, which I feel is very optimistic. Like, I think that'd be mean, to be honest. It's interesting to see what people thought of that. A flying cockroach, someone put. I mean, it's not very big, is it? But it just gives a little bit more of a feel for each person and how they're getting into the Glasto spirit. Someone put their favourite 80s song as Dua Lipa it was One Kiss by Dua Lipa. So I kind of feel like they didn't read that prompt properly. Just going to go back here. We'll stay with 22 HV+. Little up line, trying to milk that for a few yards. and then putting it deep, getting air underneath it, tracking it towards this side of the end zone and reeled in again. Waves the disc high in celebration. See it again. This is well tracked, actually. I think this is the first clean hold we've seen for either side this game. Obviously, still a long time left in this game. Shorter games here at Glasto. Just 50 minutes in 1 hour slots. So you can fit all the games in. Games played to 13 with a half time at 7. It's not the full, take a break. You just kind of switch ends if you need to and then get going again, because obviously with short games, time at a premium. Both sides have one timeout to use. The only timeout we've seen so far was for a, we'll call it a hydration break from the Mexicans. I think you can maybe work out what their hydration of choice was. Ooh, bobbles into the hands. A little bit of a floater, but tracked down comfortably enough. Here's another big look, looking towards the back of the end zone. Overshot again. Teams struggling a little bit to find their range here. It's not the first one we've seen overthrown. Looking for an inside shot there. Nicely spread and distributed towards that far sideline. Now looking back towards the centre of the pitch, giving themselves a little bit more room to work with. Exeter defence forcing them backwards at the moment. That one comes underneath, floated up there. Is it going to come back in bounds? It is, but only to be ripped away. Good defence there from Quinn. Popped up, oh, that might be rescued, no! Alert defence there from 22 HV+. Can they find the scoring shot? They are just outside the end zone, they're going for it, but it's overcooked. That was a brilliant opportunity for a break, and I think they know it. Underneath to start, and then they're looking for another deep shot. Again, it's a little bit of a hanger, but there's a player coming through from out of nowhere. Tracked brilliantly for the score. It's another Tim. There's a couple of Tims on this team. And they make it work. Thinks he's the fastest player on the pitch, and maybe turned on the Jets and showed that there. Says he can't throw a sidearm, but you don't really need to throw if you can just catch it in the end zone every time, to be honest. It's a pretty legit strategy. Exeter City, the ultimate, leading 3-2. With a lot of southwest representation at Glasto, as you might expect. We're seeing that again with two teams here from the area. Drawing from obviously Somerset, kind of Devon, maybe Cornwall, Gloucestershire, a little further over from Hampshire as well, going up towards Warwickshire, even, but kind of generally southwest, that kind of, if you draw a diagonal line through the country from kind of top left, bottom right, take the bottom left half of that. That's where the bulk of the teams comes from. Trying to force that one down the sideline. Ooh, tight grab, but made. Appealing for the one over the top. I don't think that's going to go if it doesn't have to. It doesn't need to in the end, because they can just squeeze it down there. 3 apiece, sides seeming evenly matched so far. Both sides getting ready. 22 HV plus pulling to ECU. Exeter haven't had a clean hold yet this game, but they have managed to make them all, get them all in eventually. This one's pulled to the back of the end zone where Criddle catches. Towards the far sideline, faking it. Like the way the inward pivot there, squaring up into the pitch to allow a bit more space for that break. This one popped up a little bit, but brought down comfortably enough by ECU. Now, oh, the trailing edge catch. I must admit, it always feels and looks a bit awkward to me, but he made it work and got himself in a nice position to continue into the end zone. And that puts Exeter back in front, 4-3 on serve in this game, and ECU getting their first clean hold. Joining me on commentary, trying to fit the bucket hat over the headphones, Tournament Director Ed Shardlow.
Hi Benji.
How are we doing?
Beautiful, as always. Yeah, I think everyone's having a pretty good time.
I think so. It helps that the sun's come out. It did threaten. We certainly did have some pretty torrential downpours at points yesterday.
We did. But it actually stopped raining the moment I turned up here.
Oh, that's convenient, isn't it?
So, you know, the weather gods are smiling on me.
You personally?
Absolutely. Everywhere I go, I always take the weather with me.
So, obviously, Friday night, everyone arrives. The bar's open till 1:30. The bar serves till 1:30 a.m. both evenings, which helps to add to the kind of festival party atmosphere.
I was up till 2:30.
Did you get the film night going?
They have no DVD player.
Oh!
So that didn't happen, but there wasn't too much call for it, so
when did that change?
They can't tell me. They thought they had one, but they don't. So, you know, we had to improvise a little bit.
That's slightly ominous.
But I'll take it, as if that's all that goes wrong this weekend. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, a relatively minor thing. I assume you've been carefully crafting the playlist for this evening?
Yeah, and today, of course, we have music out on the pitches. So there's an 8-hour early 80s long mix.
Why early 80s?
Because today's Saturday.
Oh, and it's tomorrow the lateys.
Exactly.
I see. But tonight will be all
chronological.
Tonight will be all sorts of things from across the decade.
Well, yeah, tonight we've got...
we also have a band.
The live music is at 9 o'clock.
That is
Pattern Pusher. They are a proper good band. So, very excited about that. They're going to play some 80s covers, hopefully, as well.
I mean,
which will be
right
on
feels
message.
like it'd be the done thing to do. By the way, that's the first break of the game, and it goes ECU's way to put them 5-3 to the good. Oh look, I've just got some emails.
So yeah, we're gonna have live music. We're gonna have some modern music of an 80s style, particularly in the build up to the band coming on, and we're also gonna have, after the band finish, it's going to be pure, unadulterated 80s bliss. All of your favourites. Just, you know, reel them off.
Here's a deep shot for 22, caught just shy of the end zone. Thought they were going to go for the quick flip in, but thinking better of it. Just trying to find that eyes, make the connection, and then finally getting it into the end zone for the score. I think that is Alex Thacker with the assist, if my memory from National serves right. Puts that 80s icon as the Romans, who built the greatest city on Earth in 80 AD. The greatest city on Earth apparently being Manchester, which is news to me.
Crikey.
Who's your 80s icon?
Oh, there's so many.
Not going to...
Maybe Peter Venkman?
Solid. You've gone for a fictional icon.
Well, you know. Why limit yourself?
Well, a lot of the 80s icons are actually not from the 1980s, but from different 80s.
Wow. Some people just don't want to play by the rules, do they?
To be fair, shout out to Wat Tyler. Led the Peasants' Revolt.
Are these all just from one person who's
No, just pretty much all of 22 HV plus.
They got Wikipedia out, did they?
Sherlock Holmes, Study in Scarlet, the first case published in 1887. We've seen a couple of power-ups in display. We've seen the 3-on-3 in the end zone. We've seen the double disc, and we've seen the walking point.
Yeah? How was the walking point?
Honestly, pretty underwhelming.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a shame. I have great hopes for it.
It's all right. Maybe we'll see it deployed again. How do they... Whoa, that was underthrown.
Well, you've got to deploy it correctly. You know, with great power comes great responsibility.
So how does the transfer of those work? Is it just you play them and they're expended? Does every team get one at the start of the tournament?
I've said that this is going to be organic. It's going to evolve over the course of the weekend. You know, I trust people's judgment to not abuse the system, but also to have fun with it. You know, improvise, come up with quirky variations, do what you like, have some fun.
Right. So there is no plan.
There's no plan.
So you just gave them out randomly. When you use them, does it go to the other team, or does it like...
So there's a couple of ideas that I have, which I don't necessarily think will be, you know, how it will pan out. But one would be that it's sort of contagious. So you start with one power.
Yeah.
But then at the end of your first game, you've encountered another power, and you thereby have two powers.
That was a enormous foot block.
And so over the course of the weekend, you'll have more and more powers to call upon. That's quite a nice idea, I think. I also like it. We had a point earlier where there were two variations played in 1 point. One was the double disc. The other was a very specific one because we're in red and the team we were playing were in red. And so it was decided that we would have a power point where everyone was in red. So we'd been flipped into our away strip, but we had a point where we were playing with two discs, and everybody on the pitch was wearing red.
Right. Can I be honest? That sounds like an absolute nightmare.
It was great.
I'm glad that didn't happen on stream.
Fair enough. They've got to be deployed correctly though. We had another point which was the Thundercats Ho. Which means that
everyone
players,
plays.
subs, players, everybody from both teams on the pitch at the same time. But we turned over and we ended up, they basically isolated someone in the end zone.
How can you isolate someone in the end zone when there's that many players?
Tell my team.
That is absolutely criminal. That break, by the way, brings us back on serve at 5 apiece. No sooner had ECU earned it than they give it back.
Key game this because it determines whether the winner will be, the team that goes through to the top 8 of the tournament.
Correct, and the loser goes to the 9-16 bracket.
And they will then both be playing for trophies tomorrow if they can win all 3 of their games tomorrow.
So the top half of the pool goes into the top half of the bracket, and the bottom half of the pool goes into the bottom half. 2 and 3 don't play off at all.
The top 2 go into the crossovers.
Yeah.
In the pool.
For the top 8, yeah.
For top 8 and top 16, and 3 and 4 in the pool don't cross over.
They don't cross over.
So third in pool goes straight into the Goblet division,
which is 17 to 24.
And then the fourth in the pool goes straight into the Circlet division.
Why is that? Why is there not a bottom crossover?
Because we've got to squeeze 32 teams onto 7 pitches in the course of 2 days.
It'd be really nice if there were 8 pitches, wouldn't there?
It would be so much nicer, but there are 7. But I kind of like that in a slightly perverse way.
Oh my god. Could you not fit? Is there no configuration that gets 8 pitches in?
No way. There's no way you can get 8 on here. It's a squeeze to get the 7 in.
I was going to say, they're not even full-size pitches, are they?
They are full size, actually.
Really?
People think that they're smaller, but that's one of the quirks of Glastonbury.
They do feel smaller.
They do, because you are stronger and faster.
No, it's not that.
You are. You're stronger and faster in the Vale of Avalon.
No, I don't know.
There's plenty of
I think the pitches are just smaller.
Arthurian ley lines that charge you up with mystical energy.
Well, it is Glastonbury, to be fair. There's some people enjoying the Glastonbury festivities on the sidelines. As that one is dropped in the end zone, and this is going to be a brilliant opportunity for ECU to get a break that would take them into half.
My preferred play here is a small dump back and then step over the end zone line and receive it back again.
Interesting, because my preferred play is knife it into the stack.
Interesting. Scuba, maybe.
It always works if you throw it hard enough, or you could just isolate someone at the front of the end zone and throw it to them, I guess.
You could.
You could just do that.
But
And
it's nobody's favourite play, is it?
That's Tuna with the score.
Beautiful.
James Hammond is it?
Plenty
real
of protein on the pitch here.
Yeah, I hope people have been enjoying themselves on the with the sideline refreshments.
I'm sure they have.
Provided courtesy of Burrow Hill Farmhouse.
Huh? Oh,
You can pick it up. I believe in you. You're not that old.
pretty old, man.
You're not that old.
Pretty stiff and achy. I'm playing for 2 teams, effectively.
Why?
Kind of 3, in fact.
That's the kind of tournament that Glastonbury is.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not really doing it properly if you're only playing for 1 team.
Well, I also mean you're also not doing it properly if you just came here to play, or we're going to get an early night or whatever.
No, I think what I like though is that there are lots of different ways that you can do that though. If you see what I mean, there's lots of different ways that you can make it your own Glastonbury. You know, you could have a big Friday and then suffer all day Saturday and then go to bed early. One Glastonbury, I went to bed at about 8 o'clock on the Saturday, and then got up again at midnight and joined the party.
Yeah, it's the cheeky little power nap. I've seen it done. I've seen it done before.
It was delightful.
I think I've done it before, actually.
It was that point where the party was really peaking, and then the wind down afterwards. It was awesome.
That's the thing. You've got to try and time that peak nicely, because although the bar stops serving at 1:30 and chucks out at 2, there's another little party tent opposite the field as well that you could maybe get sucked into.
Yeah.
I see that you've brought some other disc sports into the fold.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be joined by the freestylers who we'd hoped to have joining us.
Oh no, what happened?
They've been struck down with norovirus.
Oh.
So
yeah, probably best that they don't.
We'll keep them away from everyone else. But the disc golf I think is going down well.
So this is official. It's what UKDG, whatever the
BDGA,
the BD.
British Disc Golf Association.
Not the Great British, just the normal British.
Yeah, just regular British. And
I respect the humility.
Yeah, they've set up a number of holes around the site, and they're encouraging people to play along. So
have you had a go yet?
I haven't. I will do at some point. The weekend is still but young.
It is indeed. And there's a couple of food trucks in attendance as well.
Yeah, they seem to be going down well. I've sampled both their wares, the pizza truck and the veggie vegan grub hub.
We went to the pizza truck yesterday, and I must say thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's good pizza, isn't it?
It was good pizza.
Good pizza.
I haven't sampled the grub hub yet.
I recommend the sweet chili halloumi wrap.
It does sound, I was looking at that, and it did sound tempting. It's cash only though, isn't it?
They have acquired a card reader for our benefit. Just going the extra mile.
Bless up. That one put deep, and that is some way to come out of half. Lash it deep for the instant score.
Pretty convincing.
Why play it underneath when you can just score in one pass, IMO?
Don't overthink it.
You got an 80s costume sorted for tonight?
I'm wearing my 80s costume.
Oh, it is just that.
Just that?
Well, I mean, you've been wearing that all weekend, so I wondered if you had something else. I will remind you that I had to buy a Rocket Raccoon costume for last year.
It was impressive.
It was warm, I'll tell you that much. Not doing that again.
No.
Still in my cupboard. Obviously, I haven't worn it since, because when else would I wear it?
Maybe it's an invitation to find opportunities to.
Yeah. Next time there's a superhero themed tournament, I'll bust it out.
Yeah. Or a rodent themed one.
Why did you pick the 80s as a theme?
It just sort of fell into place, really. I think there were various things I was thinking about. One of the starting points was actually, I thought that given that it is 2022,
it is correct,
and it is Glastonbury 22, it is our 22nd iteration of the tournament.
You were going to say anniversary and then realise it's not the 22nd anniversary, because that would mean it would be the 23rd Glastonbury.
No, it is the 22nd anniversary as well.
Oh, that is true, because we missed a year because of COVID. Yeah, all right.
So it's all aligned. It's all coming together beautifully.
I take it back, yeah.
So that made me think of Catch 22. Now, Catch 22 was a Frisbee team back in the day.
I was going to say, it's not written or set in the 80s.
It's not, but it is a team full of legends. And I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity for them to come out of retirement and come and play at Glastonbury.
Did they?
No. But I proposed it to them. And that's where this idea, because the actual official theme is 80s reunion. And that was the sort of reunion idea. And that kind of then took me back to old school Frisbee and the way things used to be, and maybe trying to emulate that a little bit.
How did it used to be, apart from everyone wearing really thick, heavy cotton t-shirts?
Well, we're wearing thick, heavy cotton t-shirts. That's one of the things that we're doing this weekend.
With designs with more cultural appropriation on them.
Yeah, all kinds of things that would be not seen as perhaps
good,
appropriate anymore. But what else was? I mean, there was lots of short shorts back in the day. That was a key thing. I would have liked to see more short shorts here today.
Really, because I thought Old School Ultimate was like the largest shorts possible.
No.
I always remember. Actually, we saw him today. Whip It would wear like an extra small shirt because he's not a big guy, but also extra large shorts.
No, I think that was how fashions swing.
Yeah.
From one extreme to the other. So that was a response to the earlier age.
Like with basketball, how you watch 80s, it's like Bird, and they're all got like the tiny shorts.
Exactly.
And then with the Fab Five at Michigan, they all switched to the big long baggy shorts.
Exactly. And I think Whip It pictures himself as a baller.
Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of kids about.
Yeah, I would like to encourage that more. I would like to provide a creche, basically. That would be one thing that I'd definitely like to add to the tournament. Particularly in some years we've incorporated Masters, and I think therefore the demographics, age groups and situations of Masters players probably would lead even more to the benefit of having that on site.
Did you look at doing that again this year?
I think I looked at it briefly, but there's been quite a lot of Masters activity this year.
There has.
So it wasn't really going to fit.
Didn't feel the need for it.
No. And we were overwhelmed with applications from the general Frisbee playing public.
Of course, with especially with the pandemic, fewer party tournaments than there used to be.
Yeah. We had a waiting list of 10 for this tournament.
That's that it.
Well, that was still people who wanted to apply to be in the tournament even when it was already full.
Trust me, as someone who runs a tournament that is also oversubscribed, it sucks a little bit, doesn't it? Because you want to have everyone possible, but also you physically can't.
Well, no, I mean, I'm toying with various ideas of ways that I could expand, but there's only 7 pitches.
That's the key thing, isn't it? You don't fancy doing 8 pools of 5, 40 teams?
It just doesn't
work.
Fit.
No, unless you make the games even shorter. And they're not long games, and there's not a big break in between them as it is.
And I want them all to finish a little bit early so that we can have things like the show game.
Yeah.
And so that, people can come and watch the finals.
So the show game,
Yes.
best born in the 80s versus not born in the 80s.
Absolutely.
You were born in the 80s.
I was not born in the 80s.
You older than that.
Yeah,
Oh my
78.
God. Wow, you are old.
So we could see a Shardlow matchup in that show game. We could see
Ed v Felix.
Shardlow Jr. on the 80s team and Shardlow Senior on the 70s team.
That one just a little bit too far and too high. That'd be good. Are you gonna demonstrate? You gonna strut your stuff?
Yeah, probably at some point.
I'm supposed to award a prize to the show game MVP, aren't I?
You are.
Have you given it to me?
No, I don't think I have.
No, you haven't. That was me suggesting that you haven't given it to me.
I did come looking for you at one point to do that.
I mean, I haven't really moved except to go to the bathroom, so
I will scramble it before I give it to you.
that's all right. What is it?
It's an 80s thing that can be scrambled.
Is it a Rubik's Cube?
It is.
That's a brilliant put down the sideline, by the way, for the score.
Rubik's Cube keyring.
Oh, cool. Can you only scramble it a little so I can do it and feel good about myself?
No, it's the part of the challenge for whoever the MVP is.
Right, do they have to unscramble it to successfully use it tomorrow?
Precisely.
Oh, they actually do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was joking.
It is the Continuum Transfunctioner.
I'm sorry?
Did you get that reference?
Not off the top of my head.
It's not an 80s film,
Right.
but it does refer to a Rubik's Cube, so it's...
What is it?
It's Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, my God. I'll be honest, as a proud member of ULTI.TV and someone who was out there in Hungary when it all kicked off, I should know more about Dude, Where's My Car? Zoltan?
Zoltan. So do you know where I was this morning, Benji?
Up at the Tor.
I did.
Watched the sunrise up at the Tor.
I watched the sunrise up there while everyone else was a kip in bed. That was so sunrise this morning was at 6:38. So I got up bright and early.
What time? Brilliant. Deep put again, by the way.
I woke at 6 basically, and then crawled out of my tent and set off a pace to get up. And
did you make it in time?
I did. It was.
How much time do you have to spare?
5 or 10 minutes.
Not bad.
Yeah. It was a glorious thing, and we had some local colour up there, as it's very easy to find in Glastonbury.
What do you mean local colour?
Full of characters. So there were people chanting as the sun rose, as the first rays of the sun's morning light hit us across the Somerset levels, and sort of posing and dancing and making shapes with their body to talk to the sun. I felt
Glasto's a real hippie hotspot, really.
It's all sorts of things. There's a lot going on here, and that was it was an honour to be part of that, really.
Yeah, we've got all the trophies sat in the on the dashboard of the car. What was the name of the sculptor? I mean, I know his real name was Barry.
Oak Moon.
Oak Moon.
Yeah, pretty proud of those.
I think they turned out all right.
I think it's a nice touch.
I think it's good. I like them.
Any nominations for the party prize, Benji? Any feats of good partying that you witnessed last night, or have been made a party to? Anecdotes?
Nothing that especially caught my eye, I have to say, to be honest. But then we were just we were having a good time in Media City. So I will admit that I didn't see them.
Someone asked me yesterday whether it was possible to win the party prize individually rather than as a team.
I think so.
And I related to them the incident, the time when that is precisely what I did at Warwick Indoors in 2007, I was awarded the party prize.
Why?
For making very good friends with the housemate of the TD. So we became very closely acquainted, and this was recognised, and I was awarded the party prize for doing so. She was not a Frisbee player, but she lived with the TD and some other Frisbee players, and so she was there at the party, and we got talking. One thing led to another, and she is now my wife, and I have two beautiful children.
Are you now married?
We are.
Genuinely you are. Oh,
So-
that's really sweet.
So she was my party prize.
Ah, young love. Disgusting. How many years have you been married now?
10 years. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary this summer.
Lovely.
Absolutely. Happily married.
Is that partly because she doesn't come to Glasto?
I think she would enjoy it. I think there's something here for everyone.
There's going to be a little bit of a discussion here, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with the man wearing a tutu.
No, me neither.
No discussion at all, really.
Who won it first, though?
Wasn't looking.
We've got a replay monitor.
Have I?
Yeah.
Handy.
Right.
Might use that.
Again, whisper it, but it's almost like we know what we're doing.
Oh, you know what you're doing, Benji.
Almost.
I mean, thank God it's not me on commentary and you running the tournament, eh?
I would remind you again that I ran a very successful indoor tournament. Thank you very much.
Just joshing with your chief.
I know. But not about your commentary. That would be bad. Oh, this is a spicy hammer towards the far side. It's going to hang, and it is going to be tipped away. The crowd like that one. Get this back. Sounds like good advice until you realise that it doesn't actually really mean anything. This one is put deep. Oh, that is definitely going to be picked off by the defender. He was waiting for that one all the way.
He certainly got it back.
He did get it back.
Did what he was told to do.
I feel like I'm slowly solving this Rubik's Cube. Which I know I'm not supposed to do, but I've never solved one before.
I would be very surprised if you did it without being, fully versed in the necessary moves to do so. It's a diminishing return, right? It's an exponential thing. You can make progress, but the more progress you make, the harder it is to make progress.
It's very poignant.
Well, the law of diminishing returns has lots of implications.
I don't really like that law, though.
I think it can be useful. I think of it as you've got to pick the low-hanging fruit. Got to look for where there are big margins, big gains to be made.
What, unlike Giants paper?
Very big margins.
Don't have big margins.
I mean, what's bigger than... You got, obviously, A4, then A3, then A2, then A1. What's bigger than A1?
B1.
Nice. Nice big margins on B1.
Yeah, that's what the B stands for.
Well, what about Z1?
Put it deep and... Oh, no. That is a shocker. A real shocker of a drop.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and on stream as well. You hate to see it. I decided that I'm going to scramble up the continuum transfunctioner.
Do you think people raise their game for the stream, or
I hope not.
They try to and then
I think people, yeah,
it doesn't really work out?
I do think there is a little bit of a thing sometimes where people are like, "Oh, I'm on stream.
Yeah.
Better not muck this up." And sometimes it does get to people, especially in big finals and stuff. I think
stage fright.
Yeah.
Bit of anxiety.
I think it happens.
performance anxiety.
What are you looking for in the show game MVP, by the way? What are the kind of the criteria that we need to be keeping an eye out for?
Well, it is a show game, so I'm looking for people who, you know, exhibit the heights of ultimate frisbee. You know, in all the forms that can take. You know, obviously, great throws, great cuts, great catches, athletic ability.
Do you want to honk the horn, by the way?
Fine spirit.
God, that's loud.
Is that still the first one?
Yes. Actually, it is.
Good. It's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm impressed because it sounded like that after the third hoot that it was running a little bit dry.
Yeah, I had one before that ran out very quickly, so we have got a backup. But, all good if we're still operating on horn number 1.
And if not, we can just get a team of goons to honk with their mouths. That one, agonisingly out of reach. He's got the hands there with the layout. Have you filled in the new commentary survey, by the way?
Have I?
Yeah.
I have.
What were your answers?
Well, I filled it in so that you would know what my answers are.
Yes, but I've got to...
I think I might have filled it in at about 2:30 this morning, so...
That's good. Who are you playing for this weekend? Who are you officially playing?
I am officially playing for Guildford Ultimate and Mild-Mannered Makings and Friends, who turn out that we need quite a lot of friends.
A lot more friends, yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. You know, we were prepared for that to some extent in our team name.
Drink of choice, strawberry milkshake.
Yeah.
Favourite 80s song, Living in Electric Dreams.
Yeah.
Don't you mean Together in Electric Dreams?
That's the one.
By, it'll come to me. Phil Oakey and Giorgio Moroder?
Yes. It's definitely Giorgio Moroder.
I think it's Phil Oakey from the Human League.
Or is it just the Human League with Giorgio Moroder?
Don't know.
I think it is, actually. I think it's credited as Human League.
Favourite 80s film, Never Ending Story. Is a hot dog a sandwich? No.
Don't think it is it? I mean, just on a instinctive level, you know?
I mean, hey, go with your gut. I disagree, but... Largest animal you could take in a fight? Me.
I reckon.
Really?
I reckon I could have you.
What sort of fight?
I think I've thought about that because I thought, well, you know, I could take down an elephant if I had the right,
sock wrestle?
The right.
You think you could sock wrestle an elephant?
There's a lot of variables involved in that. Do elephants wear socks?
That was late contact.
Elephants don't really have much of a bend in the ankle, do they? I reckon their socks would come off pretty easily.
Right, but also they are an elephant.
There's a trade-off there.
Yeah. It's a bigger round swing. Multiple people put your mum as the answer to that.
Wow.
I didn't know whose mum they're talking about.
No. What else did I put? Why did I put for 80s icon on there?
No, that's the other one. That was your survey.
Oh, I didn't do my survey.
Yeah, no, you have to tell me who your 80s icon is.
Billy Idol.
Fair enough.
Just because he's my idol.
You should have put Felix.
He wasn't my icon in the 80s.
No, but he's from the 80s and he's iconic in a way. Yeah. Or is this just a Big Brother thing? Can't give him credit. That means he wins.
No, I'm more calling a technical violation, I think, on that one. You know.
This one to the end zone is going to be way overcooked.
He was born in the 80s. I wouldn't say that we would normally refer to that as him being from the 80s.
Yeah, I would.
Well, I think Michael Jackson is from the 80s. But he wasn't born in the 80s.
I think he's from America.
Yeah. I think he's from the world.
Yeah, man.
Because we are the world.
Has he sung?
We are the people.
I'll be honest. Sleeping me by a little bit here. ECU still trying to close out the win here. One more point will do it for them. I thought that could have been it. This one, oh, cheeky. And the poached defender nearly gets a block in. They're trying to move it quickly, take advantage of someone being poached. Not far outside the end zone now. Exeter on the verge of a top 8 berth. And down the sideline, they're going to get it as well. And we will see ECU in the top 8 tomorrow. That's a good win for ECU.
22 HV will be competing in the plate.
They will indeed.
It's the first of our crossover games today.
Yeah, we have one more to come on the stream. You know who's in it.
There will now be crossovers happening on all the other pitches as well, so these are the crunch matches to determine who does go into that top 8, competing for the Tor ornament.
Or tournament. We've got
Tor ornament.
We've got Mythico versus Drainage on this pitch, so again, more southwestern flavour for you.
I think it's Mythigon rather than Mythico.
It is correct. Thanks very much for joining me on comms, Ed.
You're welcome, Benji.
We're gonna shut this down so we can get the next live stream booted up and ready to go. And ULTI.TV, we'll see you there.
See you there.
ULTI.TV.